Welcome cosmonauts. Today, we're going to be exploring what Reddit asks, what is okay to do in movies but not in real life. Answer 1. Run past airport security because it's my only chance at love and it's now or never, someone reply.
I got turned around in the airport after an inbound flight to the US. I thought I had skipped getting checked out or something, and I ended up going through the doors you go through after being inspected. I went to turn around and tell someone, but the doors had big, huge letters that said do not enter. I figured I had already done the wrong thing, so I'd go back. I walked back through the doors, and guys with guns immediately perked up and came at me very quickly. I explained why I did what I did, and they said, "You're fine, turn around and keep going." I thought if you insist, but I'm pretty sure I just skipped security.
Answer 2. Carry on as normal after drowning, and someone brings you back to life. With rescue breathing, you spit out water and are immediately fine. In real life, it's straight to hospital for further treatment. Google, dry drowning, someone reply.
I just rewatched San Andreas yesterday and laughed about that. People drown in movies, and after CPR, they just spit out a bunch of water, cough twice, and they're fine. Meanwhile, I inhale one single drop of saliva and cough for the next 45 minutes.
Answer 3. Jump through windows. Don't do that. You'll get cut to shreds. No way John McClane is walking after all that broken glasses in his feet. Someone reply.
I remember at school a boy punched through a window to show off. He got taken away in an ambulance after spending a while sitting crying whilst two teachers tried to stop the bleeding with some gym towels wrapped around his arm. He had nerve damage too. It is definitely a bad idea.
Answer 4. In the horror movies, split up when things look dodgy instead of sticking together. Someone reply.
Why stick together or drive away when you can just walk weaponless around a house, periodically asking, "Hello? Anyone there?" At least grab a meat cleaver, Olivia.
Answer 5. Dramatically walking away from an explosion without looking back. In real life, you'd probably be blasted into next week, or at least deaf for a while. But in movies, it's just the ultimate cool move. Someone reply.
Fiery explosions in an enclosed space like a tunnel are especially dangerous. Not only do they direct the explosion and shockwave out toward where the protagonist is standing, but all that fire sucks the oxygen out of the air. Miners would often suffocate to death in mine tunnels after a gas explosion, even when they survived the initial blast.
Answer 6. Be mean, self-centered, inconsiderate, main character syndrome. Applies to TV shows too. Far too many people out here acting like it's socially acceptable to act like Bender or Eric Cartman. Answer 7. People waking up from comas and immediately getting up and walking around. You lose approximately 1 kilogram of lean body mass per day that you are bedridden in a coma. Edit. I can't believe I need to make this edit, but here we are. No, you won't lose 1 kilogram per day and waste away into nothingness or negative weight. I wrote LEAN body mass. Some of the weight loss will be counteracted by fluids food you've received, and you only have a finite amount of muscle. It was to demonstrate how quickly your muscles atrophy when you don't use them. Answer 8. Going through traumatic events and still come out okay like nothing happened. Example. Literally, Harry Potter. LOL, dude has whispers in his head. Possessed. Came near life-threatening events and been gaslighted by a few defense against the dark arts teachers. And somehow, he's anxious to ask a girl to a ball dance. If all that happened to me, I feel like I would be on 10 different medications and seeing 3 therapists. Someone reply.
Depends on the person, TBH. There was a guy who got interviewed at 70 talking about his time fighting in World War I, and he has to actively stop himself from saying, "I had a good time," when he was recounting a story of jumping into a German trench with a shotgun. And there is another one of a guy recounting his time in the Pacific Theater of WW2 with fondness. Some people are just built different. There are psychopaths too. But some people just aren't bothered by the idea of fighting. They would likely be appalled by the idea of murdering someone, but they don't see war like that.
Answer 9. Have the most delicious looking breakfast prepared for you and then just take a sip of orange juice and leave without touching your food. Someone reply.
My favorite is when the mom and dad leave at the same time and just leave all that food sitting out.
Answer 10. Drink and drive. Let's go have a few cocktails and a bottle of wine with dinner and a brandy afterwards, and then I'll drive you home. I'm fine to drive. Sure, I'll blow over the limit, but I won't be stopped on the way home. Films basically stopped showing people smoking because it's bad for us. I'd like to see them have designated drivers or take a taxi home. Answer 12. Hitting a pistol shot dead center from 600 yards out. Most pistols' effective range is between 40 to 60 yards. Afterwards, they become very inaccurate. Most of these guys are doing somersaults and falling from buildings and still manage to hit their shot on the first try. Answer 13. Get horribly wounded repeatedly, but have it have no long or even medium-term effects. Want to fall off a 4-story building, you'll hurt your ankle and shoulder and barely be able to walk. But an hour later, you'll just have a slight limp, and 2 hours later, you're good to go. Even a bullet wound is no problem. Just grab a piece of someone's t-shirt and put pressure on it, and you're right back in action within a few hours. Answer 14. Drinking yourself silly, but all of a sudden, you're completely sober and functional. I always loved that part in Raiders of the Lost Ark where Marion was having a drinking contest with some big burly Sherpa in Tibet or Nepal or whatever and could barely finish her drink, then 5 minutes later, she's having a fist fight with Nazis and giving Indy assists while stealing another shot at the bar. Answer 15. Go to your best friend's house, open their fridge, serve yourself some food, then leave after short conversation with some member of their family. Answer 16. Character, getting broken up with and doing some grand gesture that convinces the ex to get back with them because of course they didn't do anything wrong in the relationship and the ex just broke up with them for fun, and of course the ex still loves them and will drop their new partner to get with character. Ex never loved their new partner. It was just to get over character. It's like, what? Answer 17. Driving to your destination and parking right in front of the building entrance, even in the middle of a downtown location, and immediately leaving your car there to go inside. If real life has taught me anything, if there are no other cars parked along the side of a downtown street, there is probably a good reason for that, like a no parking or no stopping zone. Answer 18. Change everything about yourself because your girlfriend's bestie says you're a bad boyfriend for not giving up everything in your life just to simp for a woman. Every rom-com ever. Answer 19. Hold a gun on somebody while they're holding a gun on you. In real life, if you have the gun pointed at somebody, that is 100% intent to kill, and if you aren't immediately pulling the trigger, then you've completely effed up and deserve to die. Answer 20. Hold the gun sideways and fire it while still expecting to be able to hit anything or keep it stable. Running and firing your gun while still hitting the target, getting airborne in your car and coming down on the nose with it, still being drivable, and you not being knocked out by the airbags. That was enough for today, cosmonaut. I'll wait for you in the next travel.